Okay, I don't have a good setup for this line, but I'm just gonna have to put this clip in the video.
From the beginning, it was Nessie who wanted me there.
Nessie? You nicknamed my daughter after the Loch Ness Monster?!
It's so stupid, and I love it so much. Welcome to A Tough Act to Follow. I'm Preston, aka the Ploominator, and I will be your perfect brand of heroine, here to keep you coming back for more and more insights into the Hollywood machine. I should probably clarify, that heroine with an E, like a female hero. I'm not drugs. I don't want to be drugs. Please don't make me drugs. And before we get going further in the video, I just want to make sure that everyone here is not missing out on any of these episodes, so be sure to share, like, and subscribe. And if you want to be part of this show in the future, go on over to Patreon from the link in the description and check it out. There's a whole bunch of cool stuff there. And since I am all about debunking the theory of bad actors who are actually better than we think, we're heading back to Forks, Washington to take a look at our second Twilumnus, and to show all the great talents that she can convey. I mean, we've all got strong opinions about the acting talents of Kristen Stewart. And whether you're Team Edward or Team Jacob, I think that you should all join Team Kristen, because by the end of this video, I am determined to show you that she is not only a dynamite household name, but also a very talented actress, a real standout, and most assuredly, a tough act to follow. Okay, so let's dive back into last week and revisit subtle acting. Again, we've heard of people being referred to as wooden when they act very small. In this scene, the tree is wooden. Kristen's not wooden. Does it make sense? While examining Kristen's performances, I found a commonality that shows there's a lot more going on than we may realize. Her face is very still, but her eyes are incredibly dynamic. They're searching for things constantly. And yeah, it's subtle, it's small, it isn't instantly obvious, but it's also very human.
Aren't we?
Is what, soon I'm gonna be dead to you?
No. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to appreciate your last night as a human.
And this subtlety keeps the laid-back attitude we've come to know from Kristen. She's not exerting more energy than she has to work through the character. And yeah, it's not the right choice for every movie, but what it does do is give Kristen an air of mystery. She's not instantly transparent in her choices, so we have to pay attention to understand what she's actually thinking and feeling. This gives her the power, and it's what has allowed her to continue to entice viewers back to her movies in new ways.
Sickness and health, remember?
It must have been the chicken. You grabbed my bag.
What is it?
So we have to watch closely to see what's going on sometimes. Yeah, that means giving more purposeful attention to the stories we choose to consume. Movies are complex art forms, and people are very complex beings, and when you combine the two, sometimes you get performances that don't resonate with everyone. But Kristen isn't really trying to resonate with everyone, she's trying to just perform honestly. And she's creating an honest character first and foremost, and that deserves us taking notice.
I don't. That's why I admire what she does.
Yeah. You know, I think that when you watch her in a movie like the one we saw tonight, there is no distance there.
It's normal. It's our culture, right?
Yeah, agreed.
In the long series of films Kristen has done, she's chosen her battles. She knows that not every moment requires 1000% of her energy. Look, I've talked a lot about stakes, and they come into play here. If everything in a movie is high stakes without a lot of tense moments to justify it, then it comes across as melodramatic, and Kristen knows that sometimes, yes, she needs to push the emotion, but also she knows when a battle isn't worth fighting because the scene is very low stakes for the character. And that means when the stakes are raised for the character, it comes across that much stronger.
Yes.
All the more reason not to knock.
Everyone knocks before coming into my office. I could have been in a meeting or in a private call. I'm surprised Josephine let you through.
I told Josephine it didn't concern her. She understood perfectly well.
Understood what?
That we have a personal relationship.
Since when does Josephine know that we have what you call a personal relationship?
Don't be stupid, she has eyes. You want me to draw you a picture?
And she translates all of this into her physicality. She's not just walking around occupying the same space over and over again in the same way. Each character is different. Again, these changes are subtle, but the results are really honest, and they help make the characters stand apart, especially when Kristen is playing someone real. Joan Jett exists in the real world. She's got a history of recorded performances that show how she moves, and Kristen occupies that same physicality beautifully. She's not going for an imitation or a broad impersonation, she's working to honestly portray a real human being. And she does this in every movie. But this one just happens to be a role based on a real person.
He snaked us. What? And all this bullshit about paying your dues. That's how you're gonna get a record deal, blah, fucking blah. He was right. Well, he fucking did it. What? That Frankenstein, crazy-looking motherfucker did it. Mercury fucking Records. Mercury fucking Records.
They got signed?
Yup.
And Kristen can take this honest portrayal of a role and apply it to a role that has no established basis in the real world. Again, humans are complex things, and Kristen knows this. She builds a whole character, and that complexity really brings that character to life in a realistic way, even when the movie she's playing that character in isn't completely grounded in reality.
But you want to?
Sure, I mean, if you could keep your mouth shut, maybe, but you totally dicked me over the last time I did it.
Try on the shoes at least. I'll get them. They're the same size. She won't have to send them back.
Okay, Vincent. You have to promise me. Not one word. Not one word.
And once Kristen has established this complex character that keeps us watching, she lures us in and then hammers in those high-stakes moments. Yes, they aren't always overt or obvious, and they don't happen as often as they could with some other actors, but she really makes them count, and it gives her a strong ability to control the movie and keep us interested even in scenes where there isn't a lot going on.
What are you waiting for?
My brother died here. My twin brother died in Paris.
An accident?
No. No, heart attack. I actually have the same malformation.
And just when you think I'm done gushing about all the things that Kristen does, there's one more big thing I have to point out. These subtleties change. She's often in her own head and constantly thinking about 1,000 things, and we can see her jump from one thought to another thought within moments. And it shows as she reacts to everything in really brilliant ways.
I want to take a sabbatical year with Daddy, but I don't think that's going to happen. And I want to see Anna have a baby, and I want to see Tom graduate.
You will.
And I'd like to see you go to college. Not for law or medicine or anything, but for drama. You know, and then if the acting thing doesn't work out, you could teach or you could do workshops. You'd have some kind of a backup plan.
Yeah.
But these changes can also happen slowly and very thoughtfully. Kristen isn't just changing in the little moments to throw away the lines or divert. She comes into these really big poignant moments, and you can watch her intention shift in the blink of an eye. It allows Kristen to give her lines new meaning. And this shows the true depth of her abilities because she's not wooden. She's dynamic and redefines the language she uses almost without thinking. And it's incredible to watch if you give it a chance.
It was ragged and torn, patches of it threadbare. It was old cheesecloth, and that was frightening. But I saw something only I could see because of my astonishing ability to see such things. Souls were rising from the earth far below, souls of the dead, of people who'd perished from famine, from war, from the plague.
I'll be real with everybody. Kristen's an impeccable talent. She's gotten a reputation for being wooden and stiff because of a couple of bad films, but I hope you can see now that she's just really subtle, and there's a lot of really powerful tools that she's using, and she knows how to use them well. So why do we like Kristen Stewart? 1. Kristen internalizes. While it could be easy to overlook if you aren't careful, Kristen's eyes are telling dynamic stories of the 1,000 thoughts racing through her mind. By watching closely, we can see that she is processing tons of information and making choices about everything she says and does. 2. Kristen chooses her battles. While some movies are very high stakes, others are not. Kristen knows this, and she makes choices that are intentionally low stakes in the moments where it's required, until she has no other choice but to turn those stakes up. By doing this, she allows those high stakes moments to have more power, and it helps Kristen avoid being melodramatic in moments where she shouldn't be over the top. 3. Kristen portrays people honestly. Whether a portrayal based on a real person or an original character, Kristen makes that performance honest and doesn't play at stereotypes, broad caricatures, or portraying only aspects of a character. She makes the whole character, and that allows that character to be as real as possible no matter the circumstances. 4. Kristen makes subtle dynamic. When Kristen allows her characters to go through changes, they often happen slowly and in small ways, but that doesn't mean she's not putting energy into it. While the role can seem on the surface to be laid back, there's actually a lot of dynamic energy that comes from the small choices that Kristen is making. 5. Kristen earns her moments. There are actors who work too hard to get those big compelling moments and then milk them for all they're worth. But Kristen knows that you can earn a greater moment without having to work too hard. And that's because her moments are beautifully small and really interesting to watch. Sometimes you just have to look a little closer. So Kristen Stewart is a lot more talented than people give her credit for. And yeah, I know she's not going to be everyone's cup of tea, but if you only know her from the pop culture movies, realize that she's got a lot more talent if you just know where to look. Here's a few places to get you started. These are my 5 essential Kristen Stewart performances. 1. The Twilight Saga, specifically Breaking Dawn Part 1. Okay, I know I just said know her from the movies that aren't just these movies, but you have to know that this is the movie series that made her the household name. And yeah, while the dialogue isn't great, there's lots of little moments where she rises above it and gives a still compelling performance. 2. Clouds of Sils Maria. This beautiful French romance really allows Kristen to put some subtle moments onto her resume. And the rest of the cast also give performances that elevate an already compelling script, and it makes a really intimate and very powerful story incredibly beautiful. 3. The Runaways. Kristen's portrayal of rock legend Joan Jett is a powerful transformation. Her singing ability comes across greatly, and the energy she and her fellow cast members convey is phenomenal and enticing throughout, as is the brilliant music. 4. Personal Shopper. Kristen spends a lot of time alone in this dramatic thriller, and it gives her a chance to show that she can do a lot without dialogue, and her work in this film creates some of the most powerful moments that she's conveyed in her entire career. 5. Still Alice. This movie is so powerful. Kristen is a smaller role, but some of the best moments in the film happen between her and her co-star Julianne Moore. Her final scene in this movie might be the best moment she's ever put on screen, and I could watch it over and over again. And that is why Kristen Stewart is a tough act to follow. Thank you for watching. I'm so glad you're here. Tell me one thing you learned about Kristen Stewart in this video. Are there any stars that you think unjustly get a bad rap? Let me know in the comments below. And if you like this video, please give it a like. If you do, I will help you deliver a vampiric baby. Probably. Thanks in advance for sharing this video with all of your friends. Be sure to check out my Patreon. A few dollars a month will get you all kinds of cool behind-the-scenes access and even a cool shout-out. Thanks, Mom and Dad. If you want to see each and every soon-to-be redeemed actor this series has to offer, be sure to subscribe so you catch each video. Thank you again for watching, and as I always say, thanks for taking the time to get Ploominated.